Hello guys, this is Nolopada, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about something that isn't a No Man's Sky update, but it did lead up to one. And I am talking about the Waking Titan ARG. After these first two updates that No Man's Sky had received, the Foundation and the Pathfinder, we didn't hear much from Hello Games for a few months. Little did we know that they were working on a huge update. And in the meantime, to get the fans hyped up without repeating their past mistakes, they hired a company called Alice & Smith to make them an ARG to be mysterious. It was a massive thing, but I'll be brief because if I were to explain everything, it would probably take hours. An ARG stands for an alternate reality game, in which a company makes a story in the real world, and then they pretend that it's a real thing with actors, websites, videos. You know, you kind of have to play along, like a scavenger hunt kind of thing, with a lot of different clues and puzzles and the whole 9 yards. Many games in the past have done something similar, for example, most famously the I Love Bees website that teased Halo 2, but the ARG that Hello Games commissioned was Waking Titan. For me personally, it was the first and only ARG that I've ever participated in, and funnily enough, my Nolopada account was originally opened to make a guide on Google Documents explaining this crazy ARG game, as you can see right here. I never finished the guide, I got busy, but today I'm just going to give a brief summary as well. But if you're curious to all the details and how it went down note by note and drop by drop, I recommend checking out this playlist by Kyle Clover. These videos are very in-depth, they're very well made, and if you're curious, definitely check them out. May 28th, 2017, this ARG first started releasing information. Someone had posted on a forum that a new ARG would be releasing in the summer of 2017. It linked to a website that had a map of the whole world with many radio stations highlighted. There was passwords to figure out by people who just wanted to solve a puzzle. At this point, no one knew it was about No Man's Sky. It was just like a puzzle that people had to figure out to know what the heck is this all about. On June 8th, the radio stations that I previously mentioned broadcast this message.
We are the mystery hiding in plain sight. You will find us. This broadcast is the first clue.
Within that last noisy part was a hidden link to another website called wakingtitan.com. Eventually, someone participating in the game received a physical note which had a location code. This was when a few people realized that this ARG might be linked to No Man's Sky, because this location code was an address for a planet in this game. On this planet, someone went and found a hidden message. This hidden message contained a password which unlocked the next step of the ARG. So either this game was just using No Man's Sky as a hint, or it was kind of connected to it, you know? It's crazy to think the amount of work and dedication that went into this. I remember being a No Man's Sky fan in these days. No one was certain yet if this was a Hello Games kind of thing or not. After this, a website called Echo appeared, which we learned from one of the passwords that we had put in. The idea behind all these fake companies and fake websites was connected to the No Man's Sky story eventually. At first it wasn't obvious, but it all made sense later. The Echo website was a fictional company that allowed you to interact with a simulation of someone that you had lost to relive the old memories, which is actually kind of creepy because nowadays people talk about these things, but this was kind of ahead of its time. It actually was really well made story-wise because you would get weird, creeped out vibes, not in a bad way, but like in an existential way, you know? Because the story was very well made in that sense that it almost gave you chills. All of this story and all of these websites also were very well made, I will say that. On one of these websites was an email that you could send messages to, and one of the geniuses that was playing this ARG figured out that if you sent them the right words mathematically, they would ask if you wanted to confirm a package delivery. This package delivery was eventually confirmed to be some cassette tapes that had been sent out to the mods of the No Man's Sky subreddit and to some No Man's Sky YouTubers. These cassettes contain music and also static. Hidden in that static, in the spectrogram as we call it, was a jumble of letters. Thankfully, there are people much smarter than me out there because I wouldn't have been able to figure this out. But apparently there was thousands of people playing, and someone figured out that this translated to portal. It was a tease of what was to come. There were also dead drops in real life where they had people hired to go in New York, in different cities, and give suitcases with information and clues to people that would go. There was No Man's Sky fans ready because they wanted to know if this was a No Man's Sky thing or not, you know? But to make a long story short, there was an NPC a hired actress called Emily, which was part of a forum made for the ARG called ARG. She would give you clues and she would make vlogs as this ARG progressed, saying, "Hey guys, I found out about this new thing." She would kind of point us in the right direction if we weren't figuring out what was going on. They would kind of like lead us to the next clue. Eventually, we also got a note signed by SM, which we now know who SM stands for. The note was to let us know that Waking Titan would end in August and would pave the way to new experiences in version 1.3. Finally, we had a confirmation that this was an update coming to No Man's Sky. The relief was real because up until this point we weren't 100% sure, but those who were following No Man's Sky at the time and those who had joined just for the puzzles were starting to notice that this was a confirmation. 1.3 SM Sean Murray. There was too many coincidences for it not to be. Waking Titan eventually did culminate in a few live streams on Twitch that I remember to this day. In one of the streams, we learned about some people called dreamers that they were trapped in a simulation by the Atlas Corporation. Our job was to help try to wake them. One of the people that were trapped was actually the NPC Emily. She had stopped logging for a while and she was trapped, supposedly, according to the story, in this simulation. And according to the story, she is what became the Atlas in the No Man's Sky game. The giant simulation deity that is within the game is this Emily. And the game is kind of like her dreams. I think it's really cool the way they weave this together because this was a third party. This was like another company working with Hello Games to make this all work together with the game, if you know what I mean. I think it's incredible. In this stream, we got teasers of what features would be coming to this next update. They even had a hamster on the stream to keep us company, and a worker would come every few hours, who we ended up calling Bob, who would feed Mr. Noodles. Mr. Noodles eventually was figured out to be a Mrs. Noodles. But sadly, years later, I hate to be a buzzkill, but we did have to mourn the loss of our poor Noodles. The company behind the ARG tweeted out that she had sadly passed away. The features that were teased in these streams were portals, which was kind of obvious because they showed up in a lot of the puzzles beforehand. Even the symbols on the bottom of the website were the glyphs that we use nowadays for the portals. And we also received a glitched image of what turned out to be the exotic ships that they would add soon, and another image of the new race of aliens called the Anomalies. They would be important characters in the new story that was coming out in this update. The day after the stream ended, those who had joined the mail list to receive an item possibly were told that they would receive something in the mail. I was one of those lucky 10,000 people who ended up receiving a physical memory of this event, the Atlas Pass V4, a piece of cardboard that I cherish to this day. I even got a card protector for it. The day after this, Sean Murray sent an email out to all those who had joined us on this adventure. And I still have the email actually, let me read it for you. Hello, citizen scientists. It's been a year since No Man's Sky first released. And it's been an exciting, intense, and emotional year for us at Hello Games. We have been quiet, but we have been listening intently. We spent that year working hard on free updates for this game our team cares about so much. Update 1.3 will release this week and will be available for free to all No Man's Sky players. We're calling it Atlas Rises. It focuses on improving the central story of No Man's Sky and adds the ability to quick travel between locations using portals. Patch notes will be made available shortly before the update goes live. What we do is much more important than what we say, but since launch we have sometimes focused too much on that. We wanted to reach out and celebrate the devoted community that means so much to us. We launched Waking Titan to try to do that. When we posted those cassettes, we didn't know what to expect. In the last 8 weeks, 250,000 players from across the globe, 174 countries to be precise, have come together, united by a shared love of mystery and science fiction, to form the Citizen Science Division. You've traveled great distances, both real and virtual, undertaken complex tasks, and explored depths of simulation theory. New friendships have been forged, and a tight-knit community has been created. Most importantly, a cute hamster has a new home. You've been a part of the No Man's Sky origin story. It has been an honor to watch, but this is just the beginning. Whether you followed Waking Titan or not, we welcome anyone to sign up to the Citizen Science Division and join us on the official CSD forums. Our journey continues. Thank you for this year. We hope you enjoy what comes next. Sean. I actually haven't thought about this email or what happened in these months until I had to make this video. And it's actually quite, not gonna say I'm crying, but it's very nostalgic to me because it was a very important part of my life back then, because this was a game that I was just getting into. It was one of the first ARGs that I had ever participated in, and to see so many thousands of people all collaborate and be excited over something was something that is without compare, to be honest. The forum that he mentioned at the end was what the eTark website I mentioned earlier had turned into, the Atlas 65 forums. And there's still folks there who hang out to this very day. I remember being an active member back in those days, and I have very fond memories. I want to thank all of y'all for watching my quick story about Waking Titan, and I'll soon cover that big update that they were teasing this whole time. This has been Nolopada, and I am out.